We've done some housekeeping here in Brazil, which should please all the Brazilian fans who are watching along. And we've also got this club, Coritiba, back into winning ways. Oh, and did I mention, we have made a surprise bid for the upcoming transfer window. Is it who you think? Let's go and kick some balls. Hello and welcome back to Rocking All Over the Globe, Part 44, Club 4, now in Brazil in Serie B. And it has been a good start to our management career here in Serie B in Brazil. And some very good news for the Brazilian fans. I did have a couple of messages from you guys wanting a real names update, and we have managed to do that. But there were some issues, and it hasn't all been fixed, and we do have a problem still with one or two of the clubs where the three-letter name is still showing. One of them, if we go to the league table, Grêmio Universitino, they have actually got their real name in the league table, but in my little table here, it's still the three-letter name. There are some issues, but I'm hoping that you guys will appreciate the effort that it took me trying to get this done for you, and will let me off just one or two little errors here. But more importantly, we have got this team off to winning ways. And as you can see, we were third when we took over. And as you can see now, after 20 games, we have 44 points and we are top of the league. We are 3 points clear of our nearest rivals, Sport Recife and Atieti, and Grêmio are 7 points behind us in fourth, with Juventude, who began my career here in top position, now back in fifth. And so it has been a very, very good start. And today we will be playing two games. We will be playing away at Brusque, and then we will be at home to Criciúma. I am going to have problems with the names here in Brazil. There's nothing I can do that. I am lousy with foreign football team names. We are just going to have to do our best, and you're going to have to bear with me until I learn how to say them. So the first game will be against Brusque. They are in 17th place, and we should be winning that. The tactic that we have employed, the three at the back, is working extremely well, and so far so good. It has taken us to the top of the league. But before we go to what's been happening on and off the pitch, if you are brand new to the channel and you like FM content and you love to see people suffer playing this game, well, I can tell you, you are definitely in the right place. So why not subscribe and hit that bell so that you will be updated when we upload videos to the channel. And we upload different content to this channel, so there's something here for everyone. And while you're doing that, why not hit that like button and leave a comment, because it's likes and comments that help drive the algorithm to push the video to people who've not yet had a chance to have a look at our videos. So let's have a look at what has happened on the pitch since you were last here, since we began. And when you were last with us, you saw us beating Juventude by 2-1 in our opening game, our first game in charge at the club. Juventude, who were at that point top of the league, but since then we have started to impose ourselves on this division. And then we played away at Tombense, and we had a lucky win, I think. It was only 1-0, but a win away is a win away. And then we played at home to Goiás, and we beat them by 3-2. Not our best defensive performance, but a win is a win. And then following that, we went away to Vitória, and we beat them quite comfortably by 4-1. And then we followed that with a very comfortable home victory against Grêmio, and we beat them quite easily by 4-0. And that brings us to today, where we will be away at Brusque, and then we will follow that with a home game against Criciúma. And I do apologise if you are Brazilian and I'm saying the name's completely wrong. In terms of the current injuries that we have, we're quite a small squad, and the current injuries are just a few, but they are important players. We have Perotti, a striker, who is currently out with a broken toe. He's expected to be out for 4 to 7 weeks. He is my number one striker, so that is a little bit of a concern. Victor Luiz is a fringe player. He is currently out with a twisted ankle. He's only expected to be out for 5 to 10 more days. And then Mike Candia, who is a squad player. He is out with a double hernia, but he is expected to be out for between 10 days and 2 weeks. We do have a few injury worries, but not so bad that we can't pick a team. With the transfer window coming up, we have identified positions where we are desperately in need. We could do with another centre-back, and we could do with a left wing-back and a right wing-back. We could also do with one more in the attacking mid position. And we do have a little bit of money. We have $1 million to spend, but our wage budget is looking pretty thin on the ground. I am trying to move players on some dead wood, but it's not proving easy at the moment. But I have made a bid for a player, and hopefully he will be joining us here at Coritiba. And of course, many of you will know who this is and how much I absolutely love this guy. And we have, of course, made a bid for Leandro Kumala from Mamelodi Sundowns, who is an attacking mid and striker. He is now 18 years old, and we know about him. He's an exceptional player, and he's going to become a great player. And if we look at his form of late, you can see what a good player he is. He's not the strongest person in the world, but he has everything that it takes to be a success. I think that he will be an exceptional signing. He is slightly interested in coming to us. We've made an offer. We're going to try and negotiate a contract after the next game is played, and hopefully we can persuade him to come and join us. And that will be a big signing for us here at Coritiba. What a moment that would be for me here at Coritiba, my first signing being Kumalo. So without much further ado, we have to go and play some football now, and hopefully we will continue the good form that we find ourselves in. So I will go and get the team ready for the game against Brusque. We will be right back before the kickoff. Let's go and kick some balls. And just before we go to the kickoff, we have made a tweak or two to the tactic, and it was in one of the previous games, I think against Royas, were they called, where we were 2-1 down before coming back to win 3-2. And to do that, what I did was to counter-press and to counter-attack. Very unusual for me this year, but it has paid off because in the next 2 fixtures, we scored a lot of goals. So at the moment, we are continuing to counter-attack and to counter-press the opposition. And long may the good form continue. And so at the back, we have William in goal with Lianco, Sasme and Dembroski at centre-back, with Tendrio, Raquelmi as the wing-backs. Atuesta and Morena will play in midfield. Boschilla, Kardec and Shetin will play up front. I am still having a great deal of trouble with the names, but hopefully I will get used to it. I did get used to it eventually in Japan, and hopefully the same will happen here. And so I'm just going to say we've been on a good run. We have been on a good run. Let's go out there. I trust you to go make the difference. They're in 17th place. They're a team we should be beating. Let's go and win. Let's go and get 3 points. Let's go and solidify what we're doing. The kit looks a little bit better than it did now, thanks to the update. And we are bringing it forward with Atuesta, but we've been robbed. And here come... And here come, I can't remember who we're playing, but the opposition are looking to counter-attack. But we have managed to win the ball. Lianco at the back finds Sasme. Sasme, a late change to the team. I just decided to bring him in instead of Heidegger. And Dembroski, who's probably the best player at the club, finds Moreno. Moreno with the ball over the top to Kardec, who should have scored. That was a brilliant opportunity. And Kardec, I'm a little bit annoyed with him. He should have put that away, and we should be a goal to the good. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. And it's still 0-0 here. And I'm going to have a look at how the table looks. And Brusque are playing quite well, but we are not. And although 4 points ahead, it will mean that we can be pegged back to 2 points if we fail to win this game. And I'm going to shout at the boys a bit here because they're not playing very well. And we're going to go to a very positive, a much more positive way of playing now. I think we're controlling the game quite nicely in terms of possession. We've just got to get some shots on goal here and just put some pressure on the opposition. But nothing seems to be happening at the moment. And it is still 0-0. And we are pushing the opposition back, but not as much as I would like to. I'm not really too happy with this team. I'm going to go attacking now. I think we really need to up the ante here go attacking, try and put pressure on them, and try and get some highlights in this game, because at the moment nothing seems to be happening, and this is not the start that I wanted today. This is not going very well, and I'm going to shout at the boys and say, I'm not very happy with you. You've got to do better. You have the ability, now go out and prove it. And this is not going to make me very happy if you don't win here today. So we're going to go attacking. We're going to try and break them down. We are the better team, clearly the better team, but we're just not taking our chances. Even though our shots on target ratio is 50%, we're not getting the ball into the back of the net, and to win football matches, that's what you've got to do. And it is going to be Brusque with a corner. They do have a highlight, and they have scored, and we've gone to go behind, and this is not what I wanted. And I am going to berate this team, because they have been absolutely shocking today, and we probably deserve to be beaten. We've been much the better team, but we've let ourselves down. We've been absolutely shocking, to be quite frank, and we are going to be pegged back here. I'm going to go and make some changes. And so we have made a few changes, but not too many. I'm going to go very attacking, because this is not good enough, and put the wing backs on attack. We have to get more bodies up the field. I'm doing what I can. The team is just not playing very well, and we're probably going to have some very tired bodies in a second. I'm going to have to make some more changes. Let's go and do that now. And so we have made our final two changes. I have had to change the goalkeeper. It is quite interesting how the goalkeeper often has to take the blame for poor performances. This has been a dreadful performance, but we do have a highlight. Hope is not yet done, as Raquelme gets the ball into the box, and Augusto has made it 1-1, just fresh off the bench, and he's driven it in, and now it is 1-1, and I think we can go back to just attacking now. I think that possibly very attacking might help them to counter-attack. Let's just be attacking. We have 10 minutes left. Can we win this game? It will be a miracle, I think, although we've been much the better team. They just scored from a set piece, and we have not put our chances away. We've played really poorly today, but a draw is a draw. We'll take a draw. We're still unbeaten since we arrived. There are 6 minutes. Come on, FM. Let's give us a highlight here. And 6 minutes of added on time. It's not going to happen. And there's going to be no more highlights. It's going to finish in a draw. And my record against bottom of the league teams seems to be continuing. And we should not have been drawing that game. We should have won that game. I'm really annoyed with how the team played. Not the start I wanted today. We have only drawn 1-1. Kamalo has doubts about negotiating terms. We're going to offer him a nice little contract. I'll go and do that, and we'll find out if he's going to accept our offer, hopefully before we go to the next game. We have a game coming up, a more difficult game against Criciúma in Serie B, and I have to go and get the team ready for that. I'm a bit disappointed with our last performance. We have to do better in the next game. We'll be right back before the kick-off. Let's go and kick some balls. And just before we go to the game, there are two items of news, and the first one is that we have had some really bad injuries over the last couple of days, and we have especially been hit in the attacking midfielder department. We now have central defender Heidegger out, which leaves us really short at the back. Kardec, an attacking midfielder, has also been injured, and we still have the three current injuries that are still. So that makes 5 injuries, and this small squad can't deal with it. And the injury to Kardec at attacking mid occurred one day after we could not sign Camella. And I am really annoyed with the game over this, because Camella's negotiations went really well. He only wanted 9,000, and the board refused to pay £9,000 a week in salary. And this would not happen in reality. We have players already in the team who are on 13, 14, 17,000. We have one player on 28,000. And Kumala is a world-class youngster. And to prove that he's a world-class youngster, we negotiated in his contract that we put together that he wanted a minimum release fee of £58 million. Now, the board would have snapped this up in a heartbeat. We're bringing in one of the hottest players in the world to this club for £250,000, who we could sell on in a year for £58 million. And they said no for the sake of £4,000 in salary. The board were not prepared to pay more than 4,700 a week in salary to him. And he was only asking for 9.5 in salary. This is the most ridiculous piece of nonsense I've ever seen in this game so far. This is simply the game saying, no, you are not allowed to bring in such a good player as that. And then, to make matters worse, it then goes and injures my best attacking midfielder the very next day that the game put this block on it, not the clubs or the board or the player. And then the day after, injured my best attacking midfielder. I am not happy, and I will not be happy with the game if I am allowed in this transfer window to spend more than 4,700 on someone in wages. It's not acceptable. I've got to put all this behind me and get on with the game and get this injured team out on the pitch to play Criciúma. I'm not very optimistic at this point, but we'll get them ready. We'll go and kick some balls. And so we have to get on with the game, and the team for today is William in goal with Leanco, Sasme and Dombrowska at the back. Valdo comes back into the team with Raquelme at wing-back, Otuesta, Moreno, Bocello and Augusta in midfield with Chatin up front. We have dreadful injuries. I just feel really bad about everything that's going on in the game at the moment. It needs a really big patch, if you ask me, to sort some of these issues out. And we have to just go with what it is doing, and we'll see what happens. Luckily, I didn't tell the board I wanted to win the league to get a couple of quid more. It wasn't much, but I just said no, we'll just finish as in the top four, because I don't think we are going to win the league at the moment. If these injuries continue, if the game's nonsense continues, then we're not going to win the league. I'm really annoyed about not being able to bring in Kumalo, because that is just total nonsense. The board would not have blocked his move. They would have jumped at that. And the chance of making £58 million next year would have been something they would not have even thought about. And that's the game fighting back, and we have to just deal with what the game is doing. Once again, with a better team here. And I hope that the game is going to just be a bit more sensible as we come into the next few weeks. We are dominating the game, and hopefully we will manage to put the ball in the back of the net. We do know that we are better defensively than we are in attack. This is often what I find when I take over my saves in anywhere in the world. And is that a penalty? It looks like a penalty to me, referee. And let's get off to a good start. And is it going to be a penalty? They are appealing all over the place. It is going to be reviewed by VAR. I think it's going to be given. It is a penalty. I'm not quite sure who's going to take it. And I'm not quite sure we are good enough at taking penalties. It is going to be Boschilla to step up. And Boschilla puts it in. And we are a goal up. And that's the start that I wanted. We took a hit last time out. I don't want to take any more hits. I want to drive forward now. I want to open a gap between us and the opposition now. And we've taken the lead, and quite rightly so. We are much the better team, and they have not had a shot in anger. They've just had their first shot. We've got all the possession. Our pass completion is 90%. We are winning this football match, but one goal is never going to be enough. And I don't actually trust anything that I see on this screen. And we need to be getting a second goal if we can. From open play, we don't look very dangerous. And maybe that's just how it's going to be for a couple of weeks until the game decides to flick the attacking switch again. We're not great in attack, but when you are having this much possession, when you're creating far more chances than the opposition, you do expect to win games. Not all of them, but the majority of them when you are this dominant in your league. But here is a chance, and it's Shatin coming forward. Can he put it away? No, he can't. It's a good save. It goes past the post. That would have been too much to ask, and it is going to be a corner, though, as Atuesta is going to take the corner. Can he, when we get something from a set piece? No, we can't. It's a poor corner. It's headed out, comes to Boschilla. Boschilla inside to Atuesta, to Lianco. And the highlight comes to an end. No end product. We've been much the better team. We are creating chances, and we have got a good shots on target ratio. It's just playing with me, not allowing me to get that second goal. As Raquelme looks to bring it forward. Can he get a cross in? Low cross into the box. He finds Moreno instead. Moreno to the byline. There's the low cross. It's cleared away. And there's a counter-attack on here. That is why I've turned off counter-attacking, and hopefully we will hold our shape better and deal with counterattacks a lot better, and we have. And we've snuffed that out. We are underperforming on the day. Our XG is 2.06, and we've only scored 1 goal. I'm not too happy with how things are playing out at the moment, as you can probably tell. And that's a lovely cross to the far post, and Raquelme turns into the box. It's 2-0, and finally we've got the second goal. Moreno has the second goal and has made it 2-0, and that makes me feel a little better. Not much, because I'm still seething over that transfer nonsense, and I do have to get some players in, especially now as I have my best attacking mid out for about 8 weeks with his injury, and it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth all the time. And this is not a simulation, and I think the game developers know that it's not and can never be, and it's just it's the game's way of making things difficult for you rather than being a realistic simulation. But we're going to get on to it, and we will probably win titles here in Brazil, as it comes back to Atuesta to Dombrowski to Raquelme. Into the box, it's a chance. It can't get his head on it, and it comes out to Valdo to Atuesta, who's all over the place, dictating play. Finds Raquelme, hits the post, and it somehow goes over the crossbar. And I don't know how that wasn't put in. Was it the defender who had that? Yeah, it was the defender, I think, who put that over the bar. There's no time for the corner. We have had a lot of shots on target, but Shatin is not playing very well, and we're going to keep an eye on him. He's the one responsible possibly for the shots we've not had on target, and at the moment, though, it's 2-0. That's good enough to win the game, and it's good enough for us to go 4 points clear again. What the opposition below us will have a game in hand. We don't have particularly tired players on the pitch, and everybody seems to be performing well apart from Shatin. So I'm just going to make 1 or 2 changes, and we'll be right back. And in fact, I've only made 1 change, just changing the forwards. I have Manga on the bench, who is up for sale, and also the other forward that I have on the bench is Ribamar, who I've upset because he wants more salary, and I don't have any money, of course, to give players salary increases at the moment. And we've given away a penalty. No, it was a good tackle, apparently, and there's a chance that goes over the crossbar, and we are still just about holding on to this. We are still 4 points clear at the top of the league. Cruciama are not really doing too much damage to us at the moment. They did come into the game for a spell early in the second half, or midway through the second half. Time to make some more changes. And so we have made our final changes as they come into the last 10 minutes or so of this game, and we need to win this ball. Well done, Sasme. We are better at the back than we are up front. We do need to improve up front. We also need to improve in terms of our wing backs. But we have limited funds, and we're not going to be able to do it in this transfer window. That is for sure. We're going to have to grind out victories, I think, this season. With the small squad that we have, we might make 1 or 2 improvements to the squad, but nothing significant, now that I know how the game is going to play out. As Lianco finds Naldi, who's just come on for a game in midfield. He finds Sasme looking to bring the ball forward. It's a nice pass, finds Manga. Manga, who's just come on as well. He's absolutely furious with me, as well as Ribamar. They're actually the game is starting to give me problems that I was not expecting here. Riquelme looks inside. There's a chance, and it's 3-0. Oliveira has made it 3-0. I think he is just a young boy, Oliveira. I think he's just 17. And let's hope that he becomes another Kumalo, as he seems to be doing very well. He scored 2 in 2. And that's obviously really nice to see from a 17-year-old, and he's done very, very well. And so as we come into the final 5 minutes, it is 3-0, and that should be enough to take us 4 points clear at the top. I'll be happy with that, and comprehensive victory, which puts the last draw that we had, makes that feel a lot better for me. And so it's not been the greatest of episodes. It was a poor result in our first game against Brusque, the team at the bottom, but we've recovered with a good victory against Criciúma, with a team that is now becoming quite devastated with injuries. And that's it for this episode. A draw and a win. At least there's no defeats there. I'm going to move forward through the transfer window, and we'll probably come back in a few games' time after the transfer window has closed, and we will then update you with what happened. We're going to lose a number of players, I think. Well, what we can bring in, I don't know yet. The scouts haven't identified many players for me. So it's going to be interesting. We'll come back around about the first game of August, and we'll take it from there. There isn't much of this season to play through. We've just got to grind out results, I think, and get to the transfer window in the winter. The main transfer window. And that's it for this episode. If you are brand new to the channel and you like FM content and you love to see people suffer playing this game, I'm suffering now, so you're definitely in the right place. So why not hit that subscribe button, click the bell, and you'll be updated when we upload future episodes. I'm not a very happy manager at the moment. I need to go away, eat something, have a lie down, do whatever to forget what's just recently happened in this game. And all that remains to be said now is stay safe, take care, and we'll see you in the next one.